Welcome to our April 2015 Summit Park Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide.
And I'm Doug Olmsted, the Sellers Consultant Specialist for the Wilstein team. Thank you for joining us.
All right, we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to begin by talking about the Park City real estate market. And once we complete our overview, we will zero in on Summit Park, let you know what's been selling there, and then talk about the latest, greatest thing about Talisker. So with that in mind, let's get started.
So 1,392 sales in Park City over the past 12 months. That's homes, condos, and vacant land combined, down 1% or 12 total sales.
When we break this down by categories of homes, condominiums, or vacant land, we're looking at here from April 2014 to March 2015. That's depicted by the red bars, and then the gold tones are the 12-month period directly before that. You can see that home sales have actually dropped by 8% from 752 to 525 sales this past 12-month period. But condominiums are up, and the reason for the drop in homes is actually a lack of inventory as opposed to a lack of interest. But that's caused the market to shift. Buyers have moved toward condominiums if they couldn't find the appropriate home, and that's actually fueled the condominium market, rising 6% from 623 sales to 658. And then the vacant land, the lots, well, that's unchanged at 209 sales for both 12-month periods.
What does that do with property prices?
Well, prices, of course, are what everybody's concerned about. The median sold prices for homes in the Park City area has climbed over the last 12 months by 7%. Very nice appreciation. The median sold price was $1,250,000. Now it's $1,336,250. We see even a greater increase in the Snyderville Basin, which of course is the Park City area in the county, up 12%. From $713,000 to just under $800,000, $799,000 for a medium sold price. Really nice, good appreciation. And when we turn to condos, I'll let you take that, Doug.
All right. Condo median sold prices in Park City city limits, $489,500 last year, up 9% this year to $535,000. And again, out in Snyderville Basin, up 7% this year, from $335,000 up to $362,500.
And then shifting to land, we actually see a decrease within the city limits from $677,000 to $550,000. That's a 12% drop, but once you realize that there are not a lot of lots for sale within the city limits, and so if the previous year had some in a preferred location, view lots, and this past year a little less desirable, that could account for the price reduction. Not that the market's dropped off, but there are different types of lots available and therefore different prices. In the Snyderville Basin, however, more lots are available. The price is held steady at $300,000 as medium sold price for both years.
So what's going on in the Summit Park real estate market in specific? Home sales in Summit Park are up 7% over last year's number of sales.
Mm-hmm.
You can see in the graph there, up 30 sales last year to 32 sales this year, up 7% again.
The absorption rate is something we like to talk about, and what it is based upon past sales in a given neighborhood or area at Summit Park, for instance. We look at the rate of past sales, and then we look at the current inventory, and we project how quickly properties will sell at what pace. Summit Park homes are selling at a pace of one sale every 11 days, which is great.
It's great.
Now, currently, there are 7 homes on the market in Summit Park, which equates to a 3-month inventory, and then it's all gone if no new properties come on the market. Now, do keep in mind that according to the National Association of Realtors, a balanced market, equal number of buyers and sellers, is about a 6-month inventory. And in a resort area like Park City, a balanced market is about a 9-month inventory. So we're looking at a third of that, 3 months. So homes put on the market in Summit Park, priced correctly, are going to sell, and sell at a pace of one sale every 11 days.
Selling prices in Summit Park range from $193,500 to $839,000. Pretty big wide spread there. The median sold price $480,000, and again that's up 9% from the previous year's value. You can see in this graph here.
So it's nice to see this increase from 439,500, 480. It's a little over $40,000 over a year. Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Lot sales in Summit Park are down 5% over the last year in terms of number of sales. And don't make a lot out of your 5%. It's one sale. Went from 19 to 18. So, but mathematically, it is 5 sales, or 5% rather. Summit Park lots are selling at a pace of one sale every 20 days. And of course, in the past, it was much slower than that. And so that's a good pace as well. Currently, there are 6 lots on the market in Summit Park. So 4-month inventory. And of course, this is our April 2015 webinar. So we're now going into the warmer weather, easier for people to walk lots and see them in Summit Park. And so we think the lots will get absorbed.
Selling prices in Summit Park, again, for the lots ranged from $42,000 to $140,000. $140,000 was a 3-acre parcel. The median sold price is $77,000, and that's up 40% from the previous year's value.
How about that? 40%.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So look at that, 55,000 the year before, 77,000 this year. It's nice. It's very promising for property owners in Summit Park. Now, if you're interested in seeing a printout of the data behind this summary that we've just given, either of homes or vacant land of lots, just send us an email, ron@thewilsteinteam.com.
Or, of course, Doug at thewilsteinteam.com.
And we'll just send you that information for you to review. If you have any questions when you see it, let us know. I do want to point out to you how you can get information on the Summit Park market anytime you want, and we've made that available on our website. If you'll bookmark in your internet browser, BuyParkCity.com/Summit Park, or you can go to thewilsteinteam.com/Summit Park. It will take you to the same location. What that will take you to is our website, and let me just pop it up in front of you here. This is BuyParkCityRealEstate.com. If in your address window, your browser window, you simply add on /Summit Park, or if you go to search by subdivisions here, and you can just scroll right down to Summit Park here, you click on it, it will take you to the same page. And here we are. We've got a special page we've put up here on Summit Park, and there's 4 buttons for you to see here. One is the green button to watch the webinar for an update on Summit Park. You're in effect doing that as you're watching this webinar. The 2 bottom buttons allow you to search for homes within Summit Park or condominiums, and that will take you directly to them in whatever price range you want. And then the blue button here is how you how you get current sales data for Summit Park area. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, but I want to show you what else is on this page. If you scroll down a little lower, you're going to start seeing the properties on the market, whether they're lots or homes, and the prices of them. You can go to any property and click on it. I'll do this one, for instance, and it will give you a breakdown of the price, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, the square footage, the year it was built, and then it will start scrolling through pictures of the property as you're seeing here in the display screen. If you have any questions about any of these properties, you simply go to the Inquire button, click that, and that will allow you to contact us. We're happy to answer your questions. You could also request a showing or add it to a list of favorites. If you go down a little lower on the page, you'll get more details about each listing. And again, at the very bottom, you can ask a question or ask for a showing. Going back up, I want you to see another thing, and that is if you go to the Bird's Eye View tab here and click it, this will give you an idea where the property is, because it allows you to see what's around it, and you can zoom around and you can actually move the screen to wherever you want, even if it's not that property in particular. So very useful to see what's around a given property that you're interested in. Well, with that in mind, let's go back to the home page where it all starts. All right, so that's how you can get information on Summit Park anytime that you want without even having to talk to us. Talisker's back in the news. Now, we wanted to add this because Talisker was in the news for so long, multi-year lawsuit with the Park City Mountain Resort, and then they went out of the news, and now they're back. We're most familiar with Talisker because they had that battle with Park City Mountain Resort over who would control the mountain. It was a multi-year lawsuit. Ultimately, Talisker won. Vail is now operating the Park City Mountain Resort. And so they've resolved that lawsuit. Vail operates Park City Mountain Resort as well as Canyons Resort, and now we don't have the uncertainty of who's going to run it and what's going to go on during that process. Now Vail is throwing a $50 million improvement to those two resorts combined, so a great future there. Well, while all that's going on, Talisker popped up again in the news. This time it's Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo Bank has recently filed a new lawsuit against Talisker. And the lawsuit is to foreclose against several Talisker companies. Wells Fargo filed this lawsuit against a group of firms under the Talisker corporate umbrella. And from a geographical point of view, this includes areas from Empire Pass, which is in Deer Valley, all the way to Toohey. They're seeking to foreclose on $163.8 million worth of loans and accrued interest. That's a lot of money. Talisker, the filing says that Talisker operated the Talisker Club in 2014 by obtaining loan advances in approximately a pace of $1 million each and every month. Well, the loans date back to the fall of 2010. That's when Wells Fargo Bank and the Bank of Scotland agreed to provide this funding. Well, here we are in 2015, and well, they're not going to do it anymore. The operation of the Talisker Club is important to the lenders, but they're no longer obligated, nor do they want to continue to advance these funds to Talisker to allow them to conduct business, and so they're bringing a halt to it and proceeding with foreclosure. And we can understand. I mean, how long do you keep giving $1 million up a month? I'd be done like 2 weeks into it. Yeah. Anyway, for Wells Fargo says the foreclosure is imminent. They have concerns regarding Talisker's motivation and ability to continue to operate the business in an appropriate manner, and so they have named 14 defendants in the lawsuit. As I mentioned earlier, the bank is seeking to foreclose on $163.8 million of loans and accrued interest. And the bank wants a senior managing director in a firm called FTI Consulting to be named the receiver in this case. And they've assigned this to a woman by the name of Cynthia Nelson. She's appointed as the receiver and overseer of the assets. And we expect to see her name in the news a lot in the future. The receiver's role would be to manage the assets during this foreclosure process. So she's got a lot on her plate. And the lawsuit is anticipated to be a high-profile foreclosure case involving properties stretching from Empire Pass in Deer Valley all the way to Toohey. The good news is the land involved in this case does not include any portion of the 3 Park City area resorts. And so while there'll be a lot of news there and Talisker is associated with the resorts, we want to be real clear this is not going to create any uncertainty with Deer Valley, Park City Mountain Resorts, or Canyons. So that's good news. Well, it's very early in this process, so we're going to keep you posted as things develop. We always do this in our Park City Market Talk webinar, which we do monthly. And if we happen to do a neighborhood webinar like this Summit Park one, and there's good news, we'll let you know about that as well. Finally, let me show you how you can find out how much your Summit Park home or lot may be worth. You might be curious about that, having decided to watch this webinar. If you go to BuyParkCityRealEstate.com, scroll down to the Learn What Your Property is Worth section, and then complete the form, or you can send us an email. Again, let me just take you to the website. Here we are on the home page. We scroll down, we go past some of the listings displayed there in the webinar, and you get to the Learn What Your Property is Worth in Today's Market. You got a couple blanks here. You put in your address in this slot or your subdivision if you want. Identify whether it's a home, condominium, or a lot, and describe the property. And then when you come down to this section down here, you simply include your name, first and last name, and your email address. That's all you need to do. However, if you want to include your physical mailing address, we will send you our newsletter, Park City Link newsletter, which updates you on the market. So you may want to fill that in unless we already have your address. Then there's a number of choices here. Click any that may be deemed appropriate, and then click the submit form. That will come to us, and we will contact you to get information on the value of your current property. Just that easy.
Mm-hmm. So for further news about Summit Park, go to the Summit Park Homeowners Association website, and that address is summitparkutah.net. On that site, there's a bulletin board if you're looking for a renter or need a rental, where dumpster days is, you name it, anything about Summit Park, when the next board meeting will be. Everything is right on that website. So get involved in the community. It's a great community, as you know.
And then, of course, if you have any questions about Park City real estate, email your questions to us. We will promptly answer them by email at ron@thewilsteinteam.com.
Or Doug at thewilsteinteam.com.
And if you want us to call you, include your phone number and when we should call, we'll be happy to do so. Finally, I just want to remind you, every month we record a webinar called the Park City Market Talk. It's 20 minutes or less. It's updated monthly by the 15th of the month. And if you want to be put on that list, just let us know and we'll remind you about that. So with that in mind, we want to thank you for watching and taking your time with us. And we're here for you to help you in any way that we can.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.